The HOK is the toughest environment, and or at your own risk is the toughest environment. The HOK is the toughest environment. Yeah, stay strong, don't cry. It's the toughest environment. Yeah. No handouts here. You have to earn your respect. And when you do, you make they ass regret. They call it the toughest, and the title is earned from the bridges we crossed and the lessons we learned. In a cool-blooded kingdom, a concrete cage. Muslim, Christian, Israelites step on the stage. I dare you, I dare you, I dare you, I dare you. In a cool-blooded kingdom, sa.neter created. HOK, where you can't fake it. The HOK is where you fight back. No room for error, no window attack. It's a masterclass, how you handle the heat. Where the pedigree is written on the concrete streets. Toughest environment, yeah, we know the score. Locked in on debate and asking for more. The HOK is the toughest environment, enter at your own risk, it's the toughest environment. The HOK is the toughest environment. Stay strong, don't cry. It's the toughest environment. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Peace and Black Power, family. Welcome to another sa.neter TV, House of Consciousness. All right, we at the eve of the debate, y'all. We are at the eve of the debate, checking in, making sure everybody got their tickets, and y'all are ready. We don't want to hear y'all couldn't get in, y'all Zoom, y'all ain't get the link. We don't want to hear that, man. You had ample time. I'm coming in. You know, y'all got ample time to get y'all tickets. Make sure it's on. I'm going to be extremely busy tomorrow. So if you are smart and you don't want to miss out on this debate, get your goddamn tickets now. Simple as that. Get your tickets now. You don't want to hear, because every time I always hear, who won? Who won? Nobody could tell you who won but yourself. That's it. That's who won. You got to be able to see who won. Stop being cheap and get your ticket. The way you get your herb and smoke and all that and your Netflix. Get the goddamn ticket. Stop playing. All right? Stop asking stupid questions. Who won the debate? Nobody could tell you that, because you have a different understanding than other people. We all have different understandings, different levels of consciousness. So you got to be able to get the goddamn ticket and go see the debate. The ticket is inside of the chat room. Thank you, Bond Dog. Thank you, Bond Dog. The ticket is inside the chat. Go and get your tickets. See, enough of the tough Tony talk, tough the tenderoni. Are you a tenderoni? Or what? Jabari, are you a tenderoni? Or Reggie, are you going to be the tenderoni? We're going to see who bite is bigger. Oh, y'all been talking a lot of bunko shit. Brother Reggie and Jabari, we're going to see who's going to be the tenderoni or the tender phony. We're going to find out. I think Reggie feels so confident that he really got something up his sleeves. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. You know, he's been talking hella good. And Jabari been quiet for the most part. So you know what they say, the quiet man is the one that really shocks the cradle. So we're going to find out. Reggie have a lot of support on his team. I know people calling him up left and right. Tahuti from the East Coast, West Coast is calling him up left and right, probably trying to give him some pointers. But this is going to be a hell of a debate, man. And I can't wait for this. So tomorrow is going down. I want to make sure y'all get y'all tickets. right now. If anybody have any questions, come on in and talk to me about it. But of right now, man, this is going to be one y'all don't want to miss. Trust and believe me when I tell you, this is going to be a classic. This is going to be one of the greatest debates we had in over 10 years. Besides the Kemet on trial, this is the next best thing. And there's a lot of people looking forward to that too. You know? This is going to be a hell of a good topic. Are the neters literal? My brother Reggie says yes. The neters are literal. Reggie will be going first. Reggie, I see you in the chat. Would you like 20 minutes or 10 minutes? I would say, if you were smart, Reggie, I would take the 20 minutes. Because this is a high-powered debate. This ain't no little boys debate. I would say 20 minutes around. You know what I'm saying? Bond Dog, you got yours? That's good, brother. That's good, Bond Dog. Get your ticket. The link is in the chat in case anybody want to come up. What's going on, Armin Rob McCarthy? I know you got your ticket. Armin Rob, come up in here, man. Tell me what you think about this whole thing. Hit the link. I don't think I asked you yet. What do you think about the topic? What do you think? Who got the upper hand? 20 minutes around. Thank you, brother Reggie. That's what you got. Yeah, because you're going to find out 10 minutes go quick, 15 minutes go quick. And you're going to be like, damn, I need more time. Well, you got 20 minutes. Because this is such a high-powered debate. You might end up getting 25 minutes. We're going to see. We got to make it worth the people while, brother. Because y'all got so much information. So, Armin Rob, what do you think about this whole thing? I never got your take on it, Armin Rob McCarthy. I never got your take on it. Let me throw a poll up in there. I want to see what the people are saying and what they think. Let me throw a poll in there just to test the waters a little something. Reggie Jabari. Who you got? Predictions. Who will win? That's what I'm going to say. Who will win this debate? Okay. We're going to start the poll right now. We're going to start the poll right now. Who will win this debate? We're going to see how we looking, how the odds are looking, you know. Why the hell am I yawning so much now? I wasn't yawning until I went live. Like, what the hell is going on? Reggie must be sending some mumbo jumbo through the internet or something. Some voodoo. Armin Rob, where you at, brother? I want to see your take on the topic and who do you think will win this? The link is in the chat. Come on up. Come on up, Armin Rob McCarthy. Don't be afraid now. Don't be afraid now, Armin Rob McCarthy. You ain't never scared. You know? You were never scared. But I just want to say, man, I think this is going to be a hell of a good learning experience for both sides. And I'm going with the draw. Yeah, I might have to go with something else. It's up to y'all. But I'm going with the draw because I think, I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to give you my opinion now that we are at the eve of the debate. The link is in the chat. I'll give you my opinion now. What I think is just me thinking, y'all. That's just me. I think if both of these brothers going to bring the information like I know they will, I think it's going to be a draw. Because I think Reggie is right, and I believe that Jabari is right as well. The netters were literal, and the netters were not literal. So it goes both ways. Some of them were literal, some of them were not. I could be wrong. That's all I'm saying, because I'm not the master teacher in this. So I just want to say that. So don't follow me, and I'm not the teacher on this. We got the young master teacher, Dr. Reggie, and we got the teacher, Professor Jabari Osaze. All right, man. Good to see you in your doctor's uniform, my brother. How you doing, man?
What's going on, family? How you doing?
All right, all right. So I want to ask you, brother, what is your take? Jabari, I see you in the chat. You got to come up, brother. It's on tomorrow. You got to come in, and let's get some promotion in. Reggie been promoting for like damn near a month straight. So, yeah, I want to get your take on this, Amon-Ra McCarthy. What do you think about the netters being literal or non-literal? And who do you think is going to walk away with the W?
So
don't be afraid to say it. You have a right to your opinion, brother.
Yeah, you already know I ain't scared of nothing. This is what I'll say. I got a lot of love for both brothers. I learned a lot from Jabari. I want Jabari to also know I heard him on
Try to talk up a little. You real low.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, a lot better.
Okay. I got love for both brothers, and I want Jabari to know that I heard him on, I think it was him on Coast to Coast AM radio talking about some stuff. I think it was about some alien life forms or something like that. Something was wild, but I remember his voice on Coast to Coast AM a long time ago. I'll never forget a voice. So I think it was him, but I've been listening to him since then. But in this one, just like I believe that Christ lived and breathed and still is alive, I believe that the ancient Kemetans believed that those netters were real and alive.
All right, you need to hear me very good. That is not the topic, brother. The topic is not, did the people of Kemet believe that they were real and that they are alive? We are asking you, were the netters, listen to me, were the netters literal? Not did the people believe it, but were Asar, Ma'at, Heru, were they literal, brother? Were they real? He don't like to use the word real, so we're going to say just literal. Were they literal?
I can't say. All I can go is what I believe the people believe, because nobody really knows. Nobody knows. Neither one of them can prove either way today. All I can go off is what I believe the people deeply believed. I think the people believed.
But like that's not the topic, brother. You keep saying what the people believe.
Listen to me. I'm gonna rock with Reggie. I think Reggie's
gonna win. Wow, okay.
I think he's gonna win it because of my belief and my conviction. Just like I could never prove Christ to you. Now, probably won't be able to prove him 2,000 years from now, 5,000 years from now, but still I believe in my heart he lived and breathed. Just like I believe the Canadian people think that the netters lived and breathed. So I gotta say yes. For me to say no is to deny my belief in my demon.
No, it's not.
Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be. For me to believe, if I can't say yes, Christ lived and walked, but the netters, they didn't walk and breathe. I can't do that to you if that's what your people believe and that's what they said they saw. Then that's what they saw. But
Christ didn't walk and breathe and walk on water and went to the grave site and brought them up, and the dead people rose from the grave, jumped out of the grave, started running through the towns, causing havoc. You know that ain't real, brother. Come on. Amin Ra, you too old for that, brother. You don't believe they were real, brother.
Absolutely real. Absolutely.
Wow.
Real. Damn right.
Damn, Amin Ra.
Absolutely. And the thing is, the ones that don't believe will be the ones that's going to find out before everybody else.
So, Amin Ra, you believe that Jesus Christ went to the grave and shook up the grave, and the people jumped out of the grave, out of the dirt, like the living dead, and they ran through the town causing havoc. You believe that?
I believe that, but that wasn't how it happened. He just spoke. His word, the word of God is so powerful.
Oh, man.
Just speak and say, dead arise.
Give me one thing that you have seen God do, a miracle. Give me one in real life that you've seen it.
There's several things in my own life.
Give me one.
And they're kind of personal, you know what I mean? But like I said,
well, don't give me something of yours. Give me something that you've seen a miracle in real life. A real miracle that you've seen God do.
I have to think about it because, you know, a lot of people will attribute a lot of things to what we see. You know what I'm saying? You know, but all I can do is what my life is. I can't tell you what was a miracle in your life. I can tell you what happened in my life. And the way, and the Christ is not going to do things to try to make you believe or look, watch this, watch me do this. That's not what.
Check this out. Check this out. If Christ can go to the grave site and shake up the grave and rise the dead up, why was he afraid to sacrifice his life? Because he told God, why have thou forsaken me, God? I don't want to die. Why are you doing that to me? He could have just rose himself up. So why was, huh?
Because Jesus was both man and divine, brother. He had the spirit of God was in him and his humanly flesh. That's what ate. That's what.
So was God, was Jesus God?
Let me explain it to you.
Okay.
Jesus is just like a suit. When you go put on one of your fedora hats, that fedora hat itself has no power. But when sa.neter puts it on, it becomes a whole statement. It can do whatever sa.neter is deciding to do. It becomes who sa.neter is in all aspects and beings. But when he put it on the shelf, it can do nothing alone. So this is what I'm saying. So the body of Christ, the fleshly part of Christ, got hungry. God don't get hungry. God is a spirit. But the fleshly part of it, he got hungry, he got sad, he cried, he was thirsty. Those things were the fleshly component of Christ.
Was Jesus God?
No, not in that sense. It's one. Jesus embodied God.
I don't think you really understand what's going on here, Amin Ra McCarthy. I'm going to ask you again. Was Jesus Christ God?
Jesus, I would say,
according to the scriptures,
was God in the flesh. In the flesh. I don't believe in the Trinity.
Was Jesus Christ God?
He was God in the flesh.
Okay.
He was because you can't see a spirit. So when a spirit dawned on Christ, he chose to use Christ. That's why the Bible calls it an it. It wasn't the same as you and me.
So,
you know what I'm saying? So
Jesus had the power of God, you saying?
Absolutely.
So why does it say in the Bible that I do these things alone? It is only me. I have no partners. I do this. So how can Christ be doing this when God said he's the only one that does this?
The same way you just said it. When people say when you're looking for God, he said you looking at what you're looking for. You looking at what you waiting on.
In the beginning was what?
God.
In the beginning, according to the Bible, was what?
In the beginning, it was God, and the Word was with God.
In the beginning was the Word, right?
Right.
And the Word was what?
Was with God.
And the Word, no. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was what?
The Word was God.
Thank you. Not was with God. It was God. And the Word became what?
Flesh.
Right. So it ain't say in the beginning was God. It say in the beginning was the Word.
With
the mind, right? And out of the mind came what? God, right?
No. The Word is God.
That's what it's saying, brother.
The word.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with God. And then what it goes on to say, and the Word became flesh.
Yes, when something becomes flesh, that means it becomes tangible, not necessarily skin. It was saying the word became flesh. It became something that you can see, something tangible, something real. That's what that means when it becomes flesh. When you
so was Jesus Christ God?
Absolutely, in the flesh, like I'm saying. But before the birth of the human, God was. So you got to understand that too. God don't have no mama, no daddy. God doesn't have to be born.
God don't have brothers either.
Not God. No, not God.
Did Jesus Christ have brothers?
Jesus Christ did, yes.
Was Jesus Christ God?
I said in the flesh, man. You're not gonna.
Was Jesus Christ God in the flesh?
And that's what I said. Yes. Just like that fedora.
So there were two gods then.
No, it's just one, brother.
Brother, that don't make sense what you're saying. You're saying Jesus Christ is God in the flesh, but the God of heaven is the God of the heavens, right?
What I'm trying to explain to you is
that's just two gods.
Listen to me. Just like the gator shoes you wear, the fedora.
Oh, brother, that ain't got nothing to do with this, brother.
That's the best way I can explain it to you.
I hear you.
Maybe some other brothers, the brother that's on whoever, can explain it better than I can.
But okay.
I can explain it.
All right.
Jesus Christ was a fleshly being that had the living spirit, Holy Spirit of God in him. And everything that he did, he says, I don't do of my own, but the Holy Spirit that guide me. That's scripture. So he don't move this. He doesn't do miracles on his own. But because God used him, his word was so powerful that if he go outside and say dead arise, and every dead person in the grave will rise. He got to be specific. That's why he had to say Lazarus come forth. Because if he would have said come forth, everybody would have came forth right then as well. But he said Lazarus come forth. So only Lazarus came forth. And that's just the power of God, brother. Whether you
do know, brother Amin-Ra. You do know, Amin-Ra, that they accused Jesus of being the Almighty, of the Lord. And Jesus accepted that. How come he didn't say, no, I'm not the God? He accepted it.
Now, he accepted. He said, thou sayest. Just like people
No. I can show you the scripture where they called him thy Lord, thy God, and he ain't correct them at all. He just went with that.
I thought you was talking about when the Pharisee was convicting him of trying to say he was blasphemous of being God Almighty and all of that. But he said, thou said, just like we talk about or say something about us. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, if that's what you think, that's what you think.
All right, Amin-Ra, thank you. You can stay on if you got time. Let me go on over to my brother Jose.
I need to tell Amin-Ra, your name is Amin-Ra for a reason. Come home and stop playing with the ancestors.
No, that was his birth name. That was his birth name.
That's what I said. Stop playing with the ancestors. They're going to get you. That is your name. It's there for a reason. And you never changed this. So stop playing with the ancestors. They're going to get you, Amin-Ra.
Never changed.
Because you're the only man who I ever seen with that as his actual birth name.
Like
we want you to come home
Amin-Ra McCarthy.
And I respect 100%, and I understand where it comes from, because the Almighty is the same power of Ra as it is in Christ, as it is in every being that you attribute to the Most High. The Most High is deeper than religion. It's deeper than sex and different than culture. It's deeper than thousands of years in between. The Almighty was here before everything was here. And if we, so wherever you come from, we on the same. Me and brother, the same root. Even though I'm friend.
Yeah, Mike messing up, Amin-Ra.
That ain't mine. That's mine.
Well, I'm gonna say this to you, sa.neter. You are textually correct that the neter are both literal and not literal. But I'm only on Jabari's side because I think he's making a more genuine argument. Reggie just arguing, in my view, because he just don't like Jabari. And he's gonna get mad at me for saying it, but that's my view. He's not making a genuine argument. Because you can't say you respect an individual and then when Jabari's in the class, now you can't read and do neter. You can't respect Info DC. And now when Info DC is actually on Jabari's side, there's a problem. It doesn't work that way. You're making your elders look bad. And that's not a good argument. You can't argue against people who you respect just because you have an issue with Jabari. It doesn't work that way. But
Oh, right.
technically, both parties are correct, textually speaking. That they can be literal and not literal both at the same time.
You got to turn on your camera, Dorothy. All right. Brother Jabari, man. The
Peace,
debate is
brother.
going down tomorrow, bro. Enough of the
Yep.
tough talk. You said you're going to make Reggie cry. Reggie said he's going to knock you out. I mean, blows been going back and forth, man. What is actually going to happen tomorrow, brother? And what can you assure the people of tomorrow?
Well, I want to say that when people come to the debate tomorrow, when they watch a debate tomorrow, what they're going to recognize is that the way that ancient African tradition occurred is different than the way that many people look at modern spirituality. My brother Amin Rod, you know that we have lots of respect for and love for each other. And regardless of who you agree with, that doesn't change. But I want you to think for a second about how these things are different. In the Kemetic tradition, I think that they never thought that there was anything wrong with symbolism and allegory, right? The first question that sa.neter asked was about Jesus, someone who is usually rendered in iconography as fully human, right? Or at least looking like a human. But in the Kemetic tradition, you have deities, including the one that our dear brother Amin Ra is named after, that this deity has an animal head very often. Are you suggesting that the deities of Kemet are hybrid animal human beings? If that's what you're suggesting, because that's what literal means, I think what we have to do is not say, I'm going to rock with someone because of the way I look at my spiritual tradition, which is what some people will do. I'm going to rock with one or the other because something sounds familiar to me. That's what some people will do. But what you're going to have to do for a moment is suspend your belief and think logically. That's what we're going to need to do. That's what we're going to see tomorrow. And I want to be really clear that my brother Reggie is going to make this debate about anything other than the topic. Notice even in the chat, he's saying he's going to beat me because I've lost the elders. What does that even mean? What does that mean that I've lost the elders? What does that mean? So what you should understand this is that Reggie has been talking bad about me to elders. That's what you should understand that means. The same way that we saw what he did to Reketia Men, the priestess and doctor and scholar who is really beyond reproach in our community. Look at what he did. This is not about, for Reggie, the topic. This is about attacking someone who he has known for nearly 40 years. Someone who has never attacked him, only responded to his attacks, and didn't even respond to his attacks for many years. If that's what Reggie is trying to do, and I think if you can honestly look at all of the things that he said, you'll know that that's what he's doing. Then let's be clear, only one of us is going to be talking about the topic. Only one of us is going to be talking about the topic. I'm just saying, look at what he typed in the chat today. I'm not asking you to go back 3 or 4 years or 10 years or however long. Look at what he typed in the chat today. What does he mean I've lost the elders? What would I have done, family, to have elders be upset with me? People who have known me as they've known him for many, many years. sa.neter, at 12:41 p.m., he types, the elders finally see who my opponent really is. Can you put that on the screen, please? What does that mean? What does that mean? He's lost the elders. What exactly is he attempting to do? So I want to say that when you have an opponent that is operating that way, I am a priest of Ma'at. I'm going to tell you he will lose just on his lack of ma'at, his lack of balance. Because I'm not coming there to talk about Reggie's personal life, his relationships, his poor behavior to someone who did not attack him, who has never attacked him. I'm there to talk about the topic. And I want you to hear very clearly, this is not about whether the Kemetic people believed in deities. That's not what this is about. This is about whether they are literal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the word literal means? You know what the word literal means. If someone says, man, I'm soaking wet, it's raining cats and dogs, and you say to them, literally it's raining cats and dogs, that means that you are seeing felines and canines slap you in the head when you go outside. You know what the word literal means. And now that this is the day before the debate, I can say, why did Reggie take this debate?
I think
That's
both of you.
the most foolish argument that you could make.
I think both of you, when you get up to do your opening speech, I think y'all should both drop the definition of literal.
I've already done it here, and I'm gonna do it again.
I think y'all should do that so that people know exactly what you're talking about. And let me ask you, Jabari, what do you think about what Jose Francis said? Jose Francis said they are both right. Reggie is right, and you are right. And I also said that. He said they were literal, and some of them were not literal. What do you think about that?
Well, the first thing I would have to say is, what does literal mean to you?
Now
remember, the topic is what were the neteru literal.
Now let me define what I mean by literal. I don't mean human. I don't mean human. I mean they represent tangible things such as the sun, the air, and possibly literal animals were represented by them in that way. That's what I mean. I don't mean human. So let me clarify that.
Well, I understand you don't mean human. I'm not saying that you mean human, but notice you use the word represent.
Well, when we read the text, they will take a particular bull and say, this represents a specific thing.
Right.
Even though it's literal, it's still not literal because the bull doesn't represent all other bulls. And specific bull.
Right. And understand, once you say represent, you've already come away from literal. Once you say it represents, now you're dealing in the world of allegory, of symbolism. And that is precisely what ancient Kemetic spirituality is. By the way, you're going to see Heru as depicted as a falcon, a full falcon with a crown, and also Heru as a falcon head with a human body. Which is it? If it is literal, then you would have to say somebody here made a mistake, because I saw him with arms and legs, and now I see him with wings and talons. There's a mistake here. There's no mistake. It's symbolism. Does that make sense? This is a very simple argument that Reggie should have never jumped out the window without a tether rope, without a parachute, without a save me, help me, please grab from some lower floor. This is a very simple argument. And now that we're on the day before, I'm going to tell you there's no way he can win. Now, let me say this. Is the sun literal? Yes. There's actually a sun. It's cloudy today in New York, but if I look up, I might hurt my eyes, but I will see the sun. Will I see a falcon with the sun on his head? No, because Ra is symbolism.
Can I ask you a question, Brother Jabari?
Please go ahead. And it's hard to hear you, but I'm going to try to listen.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
A little bit.
Okay, let me cut you. Can you hear me now?
That's much better. That's much better.
All right, so I think that's where the confusion is with actually what these titles mean, as far as what you both believe the titles mean. Because in my heart, I don't think Reggie believes that the Falcon was walking around in real. I don't think Reggie believes that. I think he believes the people believed it. because he said it several times that he's not saying what brother. He would say, "Brother Reggie's not saying this. The people are saying this. The information or the history is saying this." And so that's where I think the argument. Because if you ask me, do I think Reggie believes that? I might say no. You know what I'm saying? But I believe he has found the information to prove that the people believed it. Because when I look at how powerful the most creative beings are, with all the things that have happened in Egypt, it can't be a stone's throw from believing that really happened. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the confusion.
The people believed it. So what? The people believe that Jesus is real.
But
I think that's
sa.neter, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. After all of the times that Reggie has been on here, he's been on here about every other day, right? Has he ever shown you evidence that the people of Kemet took their deities literally?
Okay, Amon-Ra, you finished, brother?
I thought he was talking to you.
No, I'm asking a question of the people that are on here.
Yeah. I haven't seen his information because
I haven't seen his information because he doesn't have any.
but I think he's saving it for the debate. So I wouldn't knock him because he might be saving it for the debate. You know, I don't think he would pull his information up before the debate. You know what I'm saying? I think that's on he'll have something hidden in the bush for that. But like I said,
he was saying this before we had a debate scheduled. He didn't show it then either. Remember, he's been saying this for probably what, 2-3 years? We weren't debating at the time. Did he ever show you that the people of Kemet actually thought of their deities as literal? I already know the answer. I know you haven't seen it. I know you haven't seen it.
But he could be holding it for the. He could be holding it for the debate.
But you know why he hasn't shown it to you? Because it doesn't exist. He's going to try to make this debate about everything other than this. The first time we came on live, after we had already said we were going to have a debate, the first thing he said to me is, "I've been looking at your shrine. Can you tell me?" I looked at the business directory for New York State and I could not find Shrine of Ma'at. Can you tell me how Shrine of Ma'at is incorporated? Can you tell me? I couldn't find your 501c3. That's the first thing he said. Then he came on today and said, the elders. Well, by the way, what elders is he referring to? The elders can really see who he is right now. I'm going to tell you very clearly, there are 3 things that Reggie is going to try to do tomorrow. Folks, listen carefully. This is what he's going to try to do tomorrow. He's going to try to make you confused about what the word literal means. He's going to try to make this a meta-netter debate. This is a history debate. This is a debate about spiritual practice and understanding. And he's going to try to assault my character. Those are the only things that he can do. The reality is that when you look at this spiritual tradition, you're not going to see literalism. You're going to see symbolism. And there's nothing wrong with that. Am I saying, and I want you to hear this really clearly. Just because something is symbolic does not mean it is not real. Just because something is symbolic doesn't mean that it is not something that exists in the universe. But some of these powers are so immense and lofty and universal that they strain credulity, that it is extremely hard for us to be able to take our tiny human minds that are completely governed, for the most part, on our 5 senses and try to say this is the divine.
So Jabari,
yes.
Will you, being that he said he's going to stumble you in the first round and then he's going to knock you out in the 3rd round, will you make him pay for this slander that he's hitting you with? Will you dog walk Reggie tomorrow. Not literal. Not,
Yeah.
not,
Not
literal.
literal.
But will you dog walk him and make him cry tomorrow?
I honestly can say to you, sa.neter, he's already crying. Whenever I disagree with him, he starts to cry. The reality is that Reggie is going to be crying this evening after he watches this again. He's going to be crying when he gets there. He's going to show people just how poorly he put these ideas together. That's what's going to happen. So yeah, he's going to be crying. He's going to be crying for a long time because the only things he can do are, once again, confuse, make it sound like you don't know what the word literal means, try to make this a meta-netter debate, and assault my character. Those are the three things he's going to do. That's what he's going to do. And by the way, you knew this because I actually did a wonderful interview with someone who was respected in our community, Raketi Amen. And he went to Raketi Amen and convinced her to tell me not to use this information.
Damn, Reg.
In that interview, did I insult Reggie? No. In that interview, did I mention Reggie? No. In that interview, did I say, I'm using this because I want to fight with people? No. What I said is, you are one of the people that is most respected in our community. And what we want to do is clarify, because you've been doing this so long on the scholarly setting and on the spiritual setting. And what he did is he went to Raketi Amen and said that I wanted to put her in the middle of a fight. That's what he said to her. That's what he said to her. That doesn't show good character.
How is that putting her in the fight when you just saucing her? That's
right. Correct. Correct.
I think you need to call her back and say you need the sauce.
Oh, I've spoken to her already.
Yeah, you need to sauce her up because she's looked upon in the community as one of the best comedic teachers here.
But let's also remember, she said this is the reason why she never wants to be on sa.neter and why she has told people she's not going to engage with sa.neter, because it's always about a fight. And I want to be really clear. Our brother Reggie, who claims he's promoting a debate, who claims he's promoting a channel, who claims he's supporting a brother that has done something that before him had never been done before, he didn't disabuse her of that idea. He didn't disabuse her of that idea. But you know what the reality is? I don't need. It would have been great to be able to show her interview, but I don't really need her interview, because I'm going to tell you, when you're interviewing live, sometimes you may say some things that are not, you said something and you didn't hear what you said, you misspoke, whatever. Her writing is clear. She uses the same terms that I do in describing the Neteru. Her writing is clear. Symbols, forces, energies. That's what she's talking about.
Brother Jabari, are there any scholars that believe that of the counter? Are there any scholars that out there?
I'm gonna tell you something. You would think that I set that question up. Let me just do this.
Oh man. Woo! Bringing sauces up in here. Oh, Dr. Ben. Hold on, Jabari. Are you going to be quoting Dr. Ben, bro?
Oh, yeah, you're going to hear Dr. Ben.
Oh, man. That right there, that might be a heavy blow for Dr. Reggie. Oh, man, Jabari got all his sauces right there ready. You see that, Amin Ra? Oh, man. Dr. Ben again?
By the way, in this, I don't even have Raketi Amen's book because I already pulled the sources from
Reggie said this dude is a mental case.
I want you to say something. I deceived her. I deceived her. I want you to be really clear about something. Tomorrow, you must demand that Reggie shows a scholar. And it doesn't even have to be from our community, although he's going to struggle at that too. You must demand that he shows you a scholar that agrees with him. Just one. that the Kemetic Neteru were literal.
That's why I said Reggie.
I want you to show a scholar that agrees with you.
That's why I said, Jabari, my brother Reggie, man, he have a lot of people depending on him, bro.
That's partially because people think that because he is a stronger Medu-Neter student than I am,
right,
that he must have some inside information. I'm going to say to you very carefully, again, I'm going to say this until I am literally blue in the face like Ptah. Like Ptah. I want you to hear this very, very clearly. When you look at people who read the Medu-Neter, it is a wonderful exercise. I am engaging in it myself. But reading a language does not mean you know the culture's history. All of you in this audience speak English. But as a historian, do you think you could pass my history final? How many of you actually think you could pass my 101 class, my 201 class history final without studying? But you speak English, right? English should help you understand this, right? Just because you could read the question doesn't mean you have any understanding of it. This is a historical debate. This is a practical debate about how practitioners approach this tradition. If you can't do those things, you might as well run for the hills. And by the way, I don't mean literally you're going to run for a hill. Symbolism, allegory. I want you to understand that Reggie is outdone, outmatched, and outprepared. Demand, I told you 3 things he's going to do, right? When he's talking tomorrow, you might as well just put the 1 in the chat. Put the 2 in the chat. Put the 3 in the chat because you know what his game plan is. He showed it to you the whole time. I could have put 4 in there. 4 is that he's trying to get lunch. But those 3 things are the things that he's trying to do.
Crazy, Jabari.
Those 4 things are the things he's trying to do. Number 1, he's going to try to convince you don't know what the word literal means. You don't know what the word literal means. 2, he's going to try to make this a Medu-Neter debate. And 3, he's going to try to assault Jabari's character. By the way, I've been in this community for a long time. If you search for Jabari Osaze, you're going to see things that are from 30, 40 years ago. You're not going to find people saying that Jabari harmed them, hurt them, beat them. You're not going to see that stuff. In fact, if there's a great critique of me in my own shrine, it's that I don't ask for money enough. You should know that. In my shrine, people say, he's not asking for money. That's what they say. And it's a problem for me because that means when we do stuff in the shrine, guess who has to pay for it out of their own pocket? But he would like for you to believe that I'm harming people. He even in one of our engagements before this debate said, you know what I can do? You're in academia. You better be very careful. You know what I can do. He was threatening my job. That's what he did. That's what he did. Is that what scholars do? Is that what brothers in this community do? You should already know that's what he's done. And by the way, I'm sure he's going to try. He may not do it now because I'm telling you, but I'm sure he's also going to try to pull out an interview with my ex-wife.
Oh.
He interviewed
Do you
her.
really think he got an interview with
Oh, yeah,
her?
yes.
I don't think he's going to stoop that low.
Yeah.
I'm not giving that.
Yeah. He may not show it now that people are saying, why would you do that, Reggie? He may not show it now, but he interviewed her.
How you know? How you know? She said so? How you know, brother?
By the way, let me just say it this way. He said so.
Oh.
I'm not going to tell you what my sources are. He said so. He said so on your channel, sa.neter, that he had interviewed her.
Yeah, but I don't believe it.
This is the kind of stuff that he has done. And now he's going to try to say, I'm just promoting. No, brother. When you try to tear down someone's character, what you're doing is you're actually not having a scholarly debate. When you go and speak to an elder and tell that elder, oh, I don't think you should let him use an interview with you. People on the channel talk about you a lot. I even talk about you a lot. You've not been on the channel, but don't let him use the interview because he just wants to put you in the middle of an argument. Is he supporting a channel? Is he supporting the brother that put together the channel? Is he supporting that elder whose work, sa.neter has a large platform. You know this. Her work would be elevated. Is he doing that? Is he doing that? He hasn't spent all this time talking about the real information. He hasn't. And I love you, brother Amon Ra McCarthy, because of your honesty. But you know that he hasn't shown you anything in the text that says that the Neteru are literal. He hasn't shown you that. He's not going to. It doesn't exist. He's not going to say, well, and some of you are hearing are doing this as you try to understand what's happening. Maybe the average people of Kemet believe this, but when we read the text, we're going to see it's something different. Ekri. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Where has anyone showed that to you? Anyone? At this point, I would think Brother Tahuti would be better at this argument than Reggie is. Oh, by the way, you remember that thing that Tahuti was showing? That particular text that he kept reading from, and I said, do you read mnemonic? How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? One of the things that happened, he tried to call it a debate, but usually when you have a debate, you have a topic, you have presentations that are prepared. He had just said that online. I want you to know that I have two versions, two physical copies of the description of that book. I'm showing you the back of them. This is by two different authors. What do the authors call that story? Look at the subtitle. Look at the subtitle. Here's the one by Susan Hollis. What's the subtitle?
Ancient Egyptian tales of what? The brothers?
Wait, yeah, but read the subtitle. The one that's in gold here.
The oldest fairy tales in the
world.
world.
Wait a minute. It's a fairy tale? You mean the scholars are calling this a fairy tale?
Wow.
There's the one by Moldecki.
Ancient Egyptian fairy tale.
These are two different authors calling it a fairy tale.
Wow.
So that's what happens when you do a debate. You look at people's sources. That's what you do. That's why what we were doing wasn't a debate. And that's also why I honestly think at least Tahuti would have had a source. Where are Reggie's sources? I want you to remember something. He was already arguing this before we ever had a debate scheduled. It's been years now. He first was agreeing with me, and then he said he spoke to Tahuti and he changed his mind. That's what he told him. That's what he said. And I said, but wait a minute. I read the Neter better than Tahuti. How can you say that? He said, Tahuti reads these sources in English, and so he's read the text. Tomorrow, he's going to tell you that you can't read them in English. That's what he's going to tell you.
Hold on, Jabari. Let me go to this brother who's been in here. Chris, what's up, man?
What's going on, Sa?
All right, what is your take on this up and coming debate, man? What do you think about it?
I can't wait for it. Actually, I'll be in the building.
Who are you taking?
I'm taking Jabari, because I feel like I could be mistaken, but I feel like Brother Reggie has stated that he doesn't subscribe to the spirituality position in Kemet. So I don't see how he can feel like the Neteru are literal if he doesn't subscribe to that. And I think this is a debate of the objective truth. Are they literal or not? Not if the ancient Africans thought they were literal or not. So I'm sided with Jabari, but I'm a big fan of Brother Reggie as well, so I'm just looking to learn.
All right, beautiful. Seven Asar, what's up, man?
Peace to everybody on the panel. Peace to you, sa.neter. Peace to you,
Peace,
brother
brother.
Jabari. I just want to say that I'm excited about this debate because we're going to finally get some clarity on the Neteru in a real debate setting. So any questions that really need to be asked can be answered in the debate and afterwards. But I would like to say that my support of you in this debate is not just because you're my brother, because you are my brother, but because the information that you've shown and provided lines up with the research that I've seen from other Egyptologists and people in the Kemetic community. And I have pointed this out, as you just did, so many times during these weeks of Reggie making his point and, you know, just showing who he was before this debate. As you said, everyone in the Kemetic community never looked at the Neteru as literal in the sense that the Abrahamic community did. And we would have these conversations and we would correct the Abrahamic community. No, you can't compare these deities with the Kemetic deities because the people didn't look at them like that in that literal sense, right? It wasn't until, like you said, Tahuti came and sa.neter said, I never heard nobody say this until Tahuti. And as you said, Reggie decided to change his stance now that Tahuti, who came to that understanding under an English translation and not through the sa.neter, who Reggie's been studying far longer and knows more affectionately, I would, my impression would be, than Tahuti. But yet he didn't come with the same conclusion that Tahuti did, who wrote it in the English translation.
You know what? That's a good observation there, Seven. I like that because Reggie always say, if it's not in the sa.neter, I'm not. You got to show it to me in the sa.neter. That's what Reggie always say. But Tahuti brought it to you in English, so that's a good one.
That's why I used to call him the flip-flopper. You remember when you guys argued me when I first said he's a flip-flopper? And y'all was like, no, he's not flip-flop. And I'm like, yes, he was. Yes, he did. He did flip-flop. And he's the first person to flip-flop from that community. And then he got a lot of people who didn't like Brother Jabari, you know, from the Hebrew community and the Christian community, and some people who read the sa.neter and challenged Jabari. And they started jumping on that bandwagon again, too, right?
And the Aboriginal community. And the Aboriginal. The one of the loudest voices in these chats is Indigenous Black man. You know, listen, that's the reality.
Now, you know, Indigenous is a Christian, right? He's a Jesus lover.
Who?
Indigenous Black man.
Sure. But I'm trying to say to you that, yeah, this is going to be about people who don't like me, and that's okay. That's okay.
Exactly.
Let me tell you what happened yesterday, Jabari. Harwin got his butt up here, and he tried to show a scam map from I think it's from where from ESCO or something. How you pronounce that?
I don't even know.
UNESCO. And
UNESCO.
And he said this is the map from UNESCO. And if you look at it all the way up at the top, you'll see the words Nuwapo. But when I looked at other maps, it's not there. It's a scam. Dr. York wrote that in there, I think. And UNESCO. And so Harwin tried to show the scam map because when I asked AI and all that, they said, no, ain't nothing up in there like that. They said, nah, hell no. What the hell is that? You know? So it was a scam map that he tried to show and get over on us. Because if it's there, it would still be there today. Show us
where it comes from. Yeah, show us where the source is.
Yeah, there you go.
Did he show you the source?
No.
Okay. All right.
Showed the map. He just showed
Can I add on something you said earlier too, Jabari, when you said that Reggie hasn't showed you that the people of Kemet showed it literally. You're right, he hasn't shown it. What he has is tried to create an argument that was bad. there's him and other people have created bad arguments to try to say that the people believed that they were literal, but they haven't really shown that the people did, as you stated. So I wanted to outline that as well.
Yeah.
All right, let me bring on Dr. Reggie. He's been in the building waiting. Brother Reggie, you got the floor, brother. You got anything you want to add on?
Sure, I want the people to come. My opponent feels that I'm incorrect, and he feels that he has the best answer. So I really want the people to come and see the information. My research says that his information, whatever he's going to bring, is going to be garbage compared to what I'm going to bring. Trash. Right?
So you still sticking
So
to
you
it?
see how I started off wrong? You see how I started off wrong?
Yeah, Reggie, you still sticking to it. You're not letting up that you will be knocking him out in the third round.
No, in the first round, the community is going to be shocked. So they believe that he's the high priest and that there are not other elders. And I do want to say something because it's hard for me to say after what he said about Dr. Ricchetti because that's not the way it happened. So I really think that this person I'm debating, I really think he needs mental help because because that's not how it happened, and you probably won't see any communications from them in the future. Now she has her own mind. Dr. Ricchetti is a very well respected elder in our community, right? And my opponent really doesn't know her. He doesn't know her. So when I talk, like I try not to talk about what she said, right? But she doesn't know this person who thinks he has so much prestige. She doesn't know him, and he knows they don't know what meeting is that. No, that's not. When you work around elders, they know you by your work. They respect you by your work. They also respect you if you do service for them, but they respect you for your work. My opponent has no work in the field. This is a PhD. This is a linguist. This is a person who knows Coptic, right? Who knows the Medu Neter, who knows French. She only really cares about your work. Really, really. So I'm just gonna say that I know her for I don't know since 1984, 85. We worked together on a conference about 1986 with ASCAC. Uh, I how can I say I've gotten a chance to actually love Moot and the way that she operates. And for him to come up there and then put her private conversation to him, that was just private. Just say, just don't do it. But to make it public, to say that Brother Reggie talked her out of it, now I know you're a mental case, bro. Because I didn't talk her. I didn't talk her out of it. I didn't talk her out of it. That's not how the conversation went, and I'm not going to make public what the conversation is. But bro, you're a mental case, bro.
Uh-huh.
And so guess what? Guess what? She did not send me anything, right? Because I already know how she operates. But you don't know her. So and I don't want to say anything more because I don't have to. Because that relationship that you thought you had with by doing that, right? You've ended your relationship, and you sensed it even when you said, "I think that she might be upset with me by putting this out." Yes, because that was her personal guidance to you. To you. But you wanted to put it out there and you want to act like she's harming Brother sa.neter. They will tell you, Brother sa.neter, she's very reclusive. She doesn't like social media. So when she first met sa.neter, she said, no. That wasn't no never. That was just no, not at this time, right? That it was never no, 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 never. But what she did do was her student instructor who respects her, Banachi. Banachi is her chief instructor.
sa.neter,
All right, go ahead, Jabari.
sa.neter, can you show this? Can you put this on the screen? I'm gonna do it again. Please put this on the screen, sa.neter. Share this, please. I'm so glad that Reggie has continued to explain how important Ricketti Amen is. I'm so glad that he did that. I don't know if he realizes that I set a lure by the bottom of a tree, and I put a little sign that says lunch money on it, and he always runs into the lure. He always runs into it. So if you respect her work so much, then explain to me why she agrees with me. Oh, she doesn't like you and you don't know her well. Well, let's be clear. Not everyone, I don't know everyone well. I have met Ricketti Amen on several occasions. I've spoken to her on several occasions, but we're not close. But what does that have to do with anything? There are elders that I know that you're not close to. He's going to try to make it sound like because he's known her for so long that this means that he's right. Is that the correct way to? Once again, look at the bottom of the page. She's talking about the neter or the neter. The Kemites conceived of all of the infinite manifestations of existence as being one organic whole, which they called the neter. I'm going to go to the next page. Another way of expressing the one was a tomb, the complete one, the totality of infinite forms of existence. In the ancient language, a tomb means complete. Also, there was the principle of men, hidden. By the way, Amin Ra, I know you know your name means the hidden one, right? The unknown creative forces of the multiverses. There is no coincidence. Wait, let me skip down a few lines just so I can keep this brief. These are the infinite manifestations of forms of neter. That is all the infinite forms of existence, the infinite parts of a whole, including all mass, spirit, and energy, qualities, consciousness, solar systems, galaxies, earth, sun, water, air, man, and so on. I want you to understand that as she describes the Neteru, she is describing this the way that I do. So he would like you to say, he would like you to believe that I actually don't know her well. I don't know her well. I don't know her well. That means that I haven't done any work. What? How does that make sense? How does that make sense? There are many elders that I know very well that Reggie does not. I'm not going to come on here and say he doesn't know them. This debate is not about whether we have close relationships with people. This debate is about the information. She agrees with me. And if he had not intervened and prevented you from hearing what she said, you would see that. You would see that. Notice that she uses the terms forms, energies, forces. These are the ways that you've heard me describe this for over a decade, family. So if Ricketti Amen is that learned, as Reggie has told you, why doesn't she agree with him? And by the way, he doesn't want to tell you about their discussion. And the reason why he doesn't want to talk to you about their discussion is simply because he would rather this be a void in my presentation. He'd rather take her important words out of my presentation and have me be silent about it while he pretends that he has all these relationships and understanding. That's what he's trying to do. The reality is that I had a wonderful conversation with her. And then a week or so later, she texted me and said she didn't want me to use it. And I said, why? I'm assuming you spoke to Reggie. And she said, yes, I did. She told me that. And now if you listen carefully, what he's saying is he went back to her and said, guess what? He showed your text on sa.neter. That's what he did.
What?
Why?
Hold on. He did what?
Obviously, if you listen to what he said, it's clear that he went back to her after I showed you our text conversation and said to her, guess what? Jabari showed your text conversation on sa.neter.
Come on, Reggie.
What he's attempting to do, instead of actually dealing with the topic, he's trying to attack me and by extension, attack this community. And let's be clear, attack sa.neter. That's what this is. She agrees with me. You don't need to listen. You didn't need to hear her video to hear that. You didn't need to hear a video to hear that. And he started by coming on and saying that now the elders know about me. That's what he's referring to.
I think he's just getting into your head, Jabari.
Huh?
I think Reggie is just getting into your head, man.
Oh, no. I have lots of information. He's not getting into my head. What he's doing is he's playing a dirty game that has nothing to do with the topic. And I'm going to call him out on that. Because if I remained quiet about what happened with Raketi Amen, you wouldn't understand what he did. You need to understand what he did. You need to understand that he is insulting each and every one of you whose eyes are on this screen. Because she thinks negatively about our community created by that elder sitting there. That's what he did. He didn't disabuse her of it. He didn't say, oh no, sa.neter's community is wonderful. It's not an argument. It's just a discussion over important topics. He didn't do that. He did the opposite in the quest for lunch money. That's what this is. You must understand there are only 3 things he's going to do tomorrow. He's going to try to convince you that you don't know what the word literal means. He's going to try to make pretend that this is a meta-netter debate, and he's going to try to assault my character. And ultimately, what you have to ask him to do is show any scholar that agrees with him. Where did you get this position from? Tomorrow, I'm going to show you the scholars. I'm going to show you an actual original text from the Kemetic people, and we're going to identify. I'm also going to show you something else tomorrow, folks. Here's something that I'm going to tell you. And if any of you don't have a ticket, you're going to want to see this. I'm going to show you that Reggie doesn't actually believe the side he's arguing on. I'm not talking about something he said 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It's very recent. I'm going to show you that Reggie does not believe what he's arguing.
Oh, so you saying he just going against you because he hates you?
I'm going to prove it to you tomorrow.
Oh, man.
Did you hear what I said? I don't use the word. I'm the sources guy that pulls up a sign that says sources, that talks about ECRI. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. I'm going to prove to you that he does not believe what he's arguing. Now, not 3 years ago, not 4 years ago, not 10 years ago, now. All of this is what's about to happen.
Well, let me tell you, Jabari, if you take down Reggie, you take down Harwin, Unk, all the flunkies, man, all the Hebrew Israelites, the Christians, damn. And they are riding so hard with Reggie because they have failed Jabari. And so they think and they believe that the only one that can bring Jabari down now is Dr. Reggie, because he reads the metal. So let's all get behind Reggie and give him that battery. Put the battery in his back.
But let me say this. There are certainly people in this community that if I was arguing that I'm wearing gold-colored glasses, they would say I'm a liar. There's certain people that would say that just because they don't like me. But all of the people in those communities you mentioned are not in that category. There are Christians, there are Hebrews, and others who are not in that category. The reason why they may agree with him now is because what he is saying sounds much more similar to what they've heard already. I'm talking to those people too. I'm talking to those people who are waiting to hear the information, not just sitting here to argue with Jabari because they don't like Jabari, but people who actually want to be able to understand the information. And I want to say something to those Christians and those Hebrews, and even Harwin, a person that's part of the Nuwapian tradition. Understand that Reggie's ultimate goal is to destroy all spiritual communities. I'm not sure why you're rocking with him. You may not like me, but I'm at the head of a spiritual community. He has confused you in thinking that he's your champion. That's what he's done. That's like Venezuelans, Cubans, and Haitians supporting Trump and then saying, wait a minute, you trying to deport me? I thought you were only going to deport the criminals. You didn't see that he wasn't your champion? That's what's happening here.
Well, they got Reggie as the great light-skinned hope right now. Reggie's the great hope right now.
Coach Keith, is that what you wrote? That's hilarious.
He's the hope of the Hebrews, the hope of the hope of Brother Gideon. They all want you to go down, Jabari. You have kicked a lot of butt throughout the years, Jabari.
Yeah.
A lot of butt. And you know, I don't know if you noticed, but you know, Reggie was up here live yesterday talking about how Yara beat you.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? Yara beat
When I
you?
first came in today, I said Reggie has been glazing the audience for weeks now.
Reggie playing chess, man.
He is glazing the audience. That's not chess, that's checkers. I'm just hoping that the people who are watching him play checkers don't get confused. Because the reality is, Reggie is just trying to insult Jabari. That's
So
all
you
it
say
is.
he playing checkers on the chessboard?
That's what I'm saying. Well, they're the same board. But let's be clear.
Yo, did you see
The
Wyatt?
other person
Did you see
has
Wyatt?
the other person has chess pieces sa.neter. He got checker pieces going.
Yo,
Is it
did
my
you see
move?
Wyatt?
Like what?
Jabari, did you see the wire?
Of course I did. One of the
Well,
best shows
do
on
you remember the scene where he said, yo, you can't play checkers on the chessboard, man? Yeah. Can't be
That's
playing
what
no
he's doing.
on the chessboard.
That's what he's doing. Folks, are you telling me? By the way, Gideon says 9 out of 10 Egyptologists agree with Reggie. Can I say this to you? Why hasn't he shown you one of the 9 out of 10? You're saying 90% of Egyptologists agree with him. He hasn't shown you one of them. Okay. Gideon, I want you to look carefully. I'm going to just show you people with Egyptology degrees. Just people with Egyptology degrees. This Theophile Benga. He doesn't agree with him. Just Egyptology degrees, not necessarily our esteemed elders. E.A. Wallace Budge doesn't agree with him. Bojana Modsoff doesn't agree with him. Eric Horhung, who is perhaps one of the most important Egyptologists, best known Egyptologist, he doesn't agree with him. Stephen Quirk doesn't agree with him. Show us one. Gideon. Show us one. And by the way, if you said 9 of 10 Egyptologists agree with him, now why don't you show us one?
Hey, yo, but
the white Egyptologists aren't respected.
But listen, Jabari. Listen, Jabari. This brother right here, Asa Mka, he also reads the Metal Netter, and he believes, Jabari, that the Netters were literal, bro. I couldn't believe it when I heard my brother.
We'll see. We'll see. By the way, he said white Egyptologists, sa.neter, Gideon just said white Egyptologists aren't respected. But this shows you how little he knows what he's talking about. Theophila Benga is not white.
Wow.
Theophila Benga is not white. I showed you the people with only Egyptology degrees. They're not white. What are you saying? By the way, Raketia Men, I just showed you a quote. She has a degree. Doesn't agree with him. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about white Egyptologists, black Egyptologists, Asian Egyptologists. Show us one. Show us one. Gideon, you're the one that's making the claim. I don't know if Reggie has ever said 9 out of 10, 90% agree with him. Show us one.
Harwin says,
Show us
tell
one.
sa.neter to bring me up and I can show one. Harwin, listen to me. You got to stop being a coward, stop being a punk, and you got to take on Morgan before you can speak to the champ, brother. You got to take on Chuck Morgan before you can get ahead and start, you got to take on the champ first. Come on, bro. Stop being a coward. Take on the champ. Take on the champ.
I want you to know that I'm the one that's going to show you all of this. I'm the one that's going to show you this. I want you to be really clear that they don't agree with him. They don't agree with him. Now listen, Gideon says, how about you post it as a base chat GPT question, were the ancient Egyptian neters sentient beings? Gideon, is the way that you agree with Reggie to change the topic of the debate? Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're doing? So when you go to the bank and they say, sir, can I help you? You say, oh, I have a few yen that I want to put into the bank. And they go, yen? We don't take yen, sir. And you go, what do you mean? Yen goes into a bank. And they say, yes, in China, dear brother. Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're doing? That's not the topic of the debate. We're talking about sa.neter, could you put the flyer up again? Gideon, are you telling me that after all these weeks, you don't know what the topic is? The topic is, are the neter literal? That's the topic. But in order for you to say that you support this, brother, you have to actually change the topic of the debate. Now, folks, I know you all saw this. I know you did. You saw what he typed in the chat. In order for him to believe that Reggie wins, he has to change the topic of the debate.
What did he change it to?
I want you to see what he typed. Very clearly. This is what he typed.
Literal is very English?
No, inky-ish, he said for a second there. But I want you to know that in order for him to support him, here it is. He typed it at 148. sa.neter, can you put it on the screen? This is the disingenuous gymnastics that Gideon is involved in. 148, he typed it. Put it on the screen when you see it, sa.neter. Here it is. How about you post it as a base chat GPT question, were the ancient Egyptian netters sentient beings? That literal talking point is some inky work. Well, listen, if you disagree with the topic, you should have told your brother Reggie that he should have taken that topic. That's not the debate. And if you want to talk about that later, we can. By the way, notice now he's suggesting that you post this as a chat GPT question. When before, this is a distraction, but I'm going to beat you up on the distraction too. Before he said 9 out of 10 Egyptologists agree with Reggie. Gideon, that's 90%. Show us one. Show us one. They don't have to be black Egyptologists. Very few black folks, very few people of African descent have degrees in Egyptology. Very few. I can think of, that I personally know, I can think of 4, maybe 3 or 4. That's it. That's it. So what you should do is you should now show us one. And I'm saying they don't have to be black. Show us one. He says, yes, but that word literal is arguably unapplicable in this conversation. However, if you're opposing literal to be anti-sentient, you still lose the argument. What are you talking about? You are trying to change the debate. The debate is, are the netters literal? Do you not know? Is it that you don't like the word literal? If you don't like the word literal, the reason why you don't like the word literal, come a little closer to the screen, folks, so I can tell you the secret. The reason why he doesn't like the word literal is because he knows he won't be able to show that they are literal. And by the way, he knows that Reggie can't show that they are literal. He doesn't think Reggie should have taken that debate. Guess what? Neither do I. I had the snare by the base of the tree, and I wrote it on a little sign, lunch money. And I put it in the snare, and Reggie said, lunch money, and he lumbered over there, got caught, got sprung into the air, and he's standing there now waiting for the hunter to come gut him.
Oh,
well, I'm getting my knives sharpened.
So let me ask you, man, let me get this dude here, man. This is one of my favorite brothers when it comes to comedic and debating. But for some reason,
one of mine too.
Now he believes that the netters were real. I don't. What happened to you, Asar and Ka?
Real or literal, sa.neter?
Literal.
I never said they weren't. So yeah, I've never switched stances on that. I've always said that it's going to be both. The question is, who's going to present the information the best?
Let me hear you break down the word literal. What is literal to you? Like, break it down.
Literal means that it would be absent of
allegory or symbol.
Exactly. It wouldn't be anything fake or anything.
No metaphor or exaggeration.
Yeah, not
so
metaphoric.
Was Asar literal to you?
Asar as a literal. Well, Asar was the head of an army named one. And the possibility of him being an actual human is a big possibility, yes.
Wow.
So there is that possibility that he might have existed.
So they chopped them up into 14 pieces, right? And they found every piece is
no. That's where you're messing it up.
And then my aunt gets on it. Huh?
That's where you're messing it up at. So
how am I messing it up?
I'm about to tell you. So there's a myth story, and then there's a physical story of his existence. So you got to know the difference between the two, and you also have to know the other story. So as we understand it, it's very possible that he probably existed as a colonizer from Ethiopia that went on to help them build Greece and a few other things. But that's neither here nor there. The Neteru are literal because they thought everything was a Neter. From the trees to this to that to everything. And I'm not going to get too involved because I know my brother's got a debate.
Who thought everything was a Neter?
The Shemsu, the Remech, the ancient Egyptians, as you would call them. They thought everything was a Neter.
People in the community?
Yes. Everything was a Neter.
That's not the topic, though.
Literally.
See? But that's not
wait, sa.neter, wait. Let him finish. He agrees with me. He agrees with me. I'm going to show you how he does agree with me.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how he agrees with me.
Right, a Neter, especially when you get into the text and you read what they understood, you see it that way. What I did want to throw in though is what'll really be dope. Our brothers go at it tomorrow, dap up, loser buys the drinks, whatever the case, and then you bring Raketi Yaman on for a breakdown of Medu Neter, her involvement with Sheikh Anta Diop, what she knows about UNESCO when they went there to the conference, her or Sheikh Anta Diop and Theophilo Banga for our brother Gideon, who thought he was European. and really get a real nice interview. Yes, sir.
But guess what? I did that already.
See, it's on. It's on. Yeah.
Our brother put the kibosh on it. That's the word I'm gonna use. He messed it up so that you wouldn't be able to hear it. And then he said, that's what he did. He made it so that you won't be able to hear it. Huh?
Big Sister Raketti Yaman, this your little brother is Sarim Ka, because I done spoke with Sister Raketti Yaman before too.
Yeah.
Please come on the show and talk to the people. Just because an interview on this channel cements your legacy for the youth. Or us older folks who I'll be 52 this year. We know your legacy. But for the youth to understand that we stand on your shoulders, please come do an interview with your brother sa.neter.
I agree with you, Sarim Ka. You know what the problem is? I already did that interview, and I said to her, Priestess Raketti, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the full interview on Kemetic Ascension. That is the Shrine of Ma'at's spiritual gathering. And I'm going to show the full interview later on sa.neter. That's what I told her. And she was okay with that.
It needs to be a dual share. Yeah, let it be a dual share. Come on.
She was okay with that. What happened over the course of 7 to 10 days that now she's saying she never wants anything shown on sa.neter? You already know what happened. You know what happened. I know you don't want to believe it because Reggie's your brother. You know what the sad thing is, Sarim Ka? He was my brother too. He was my brother too. When he was saying things about me, I would usually say, yeah, he's upset. He'll get over it. It was years before I said anything. He never got over it. He's been attacking me for like 15 years. And I didn't say anything until about 6 years ago. And I want him to understand, you know how many people came to me and said, you need to speak to Reggie. You need to, you have no idea. If I had any idea, any way to show you how many people it was, you would be aghast. I don't think he knows who they are. When I first approached him, I said, we know the same people, right? Why are you saying negative things about me? That wasn't something I said on sa.neter. I said it privately. He said, I'm not saying negative things about you. I said, brother, are you calling all of our friends and elders liars? He said, I'm not saying that they're liars. I'm saying you misunderstood it. I said, brother, I'm talking about like 30 people. They all wrong? After that, that's when I started going live. Raketti Yaman's not going to come on sa.neter. Why? Because Reggie said something negative and included sa.neter. I told her that I was going to play it live on Kemetic Ascension and then on sa.neter. She didn't say, I don't want to be on sa.neter when I said that. By the way, let me show you something. I want you to see something so that you can see that you actually agree. Now this.
Hold up, it's still me showing.
Can you share that? Sa, can you share that, please? I only have one screen today, so I don't know if he's showing it. Tell me when you see it.
He's starting to show it now. It's material.
It's been up, Jabari.
Oh, sorry.
There
what
is
this?
There's the tree.
It's a tree, right?
That's that tree in Tanzania, yeah.
This is actually in Kemet. This is in Kemet. It's a very rare tree in Kemet. Yeah, it's a very rare tree in Kemet, but it's in Kemet, right? This is a tree. In fact, in the background, you're going to see other trees. What is this? Can you see that? Did it change, sa.neter?
Not yet.
Okay, so let me stop sharing and then share again. I only have one screen today, so.
Harwin is a little kitten, man. Harwin is nothing but a kitten.
Oh, Harwin's a kitten. I thought you were saying I was showing a kitten.
Yeah, Harwin is a kitten.
Show this now, sa.neter. What's this? Can you see it, y'all?
Yeah.
It's bumming up.
It's there. It's there already.
Yeah, we see it. We see it.
Oh, I'm in my truck. Mine is going slow.
What are you looking at, family? Tell us
right
what you're
there,
looking at.
They're making dua right there to that tree in particular. That's
now I'm going to tell you Asarim Khan,
Yeah, in the
I see trees every day. I think you do too. Do they look like this?
no.
No. You know why? Because this is symbolism. One is literal, the other is allegorical. Asarim Khan, you agree with me? I know y'all trying to give
Oh yeah,
grace to Brother Reggie.
I haven't. No, I've always said that it's both.
Yes, but what I'm saying to you is when you say it's both, the reality is when the Kemetic people show you their deities, they're not showing you the first image. They're showing you the second image. This is the symbolic energy, the essence of giving, of life that comes from the earth. This is symbolic. The other one I showed is literal. Do you think that the Kemetic people believed if you walk by a tree, you would literally see this? No. This is symbolism. This is the deity. The other one is a tree. Let's be very clear about what we're talking about here. You actually agree with me. And I know that you're trying to give, a lot of people are, and I respect that, right? Reggie is someone that's been in this community for a long time. I respect that you all don't want to say something negative about him.
I'm not giving either one of y'all anything because I've actually known you longer. I've just been in contact with Reggie more. But
sure,
I've always said it's both. And I'm not going to reveal anything. Like, we can sit down and have a friendly discussion. This is soccer season. We'll have a friendly when the debate's over. I'm not going to, reveal anything on either side or, But with the Netra rule, and I'll show some things in the text, and I'll show some things in literal, and I'll show some things in allegory as well, so that it could be, and we could present some information, and the people will be edified, and we'll have fun with it.
Right.
But right now, I'm not going to say anything because y'all locked in horns right now.
Yeah, I would have thought, Asarim Khan, that that's what this conversation should be. And in fact, if you look at it from the beginning, I'm saying, I really hope that Reggie is focused on information. That's not what he's going to do. Family, you know this. I'm not being foul to him. You've seen him now every other day for weeks.
What's up, Tahudi?
He's tried to say that the issue that we have, we can hear you, sa.neter. He's tried to say that the issue that we have is that my shrine is not properly, it doesn't have a 501c3.
Well, you're a for business. You don't have to have a 501c3, right?
Yeah, I said that. I said that, by the way. By the way, I've been running a shrine for over a decade. I know what the legal matters and formation must be. And I answered his question, and then I said, well, brother, you're on here saying you couldn't find information about my shrine. Did you go to my website? He said, no, I didn't go to the website. So what he was really trying to do was assault my shrine in innuendo. That's what he did.
Well, a couple of shows ago, he directly said that he was going to attack your degrees, your work. He directly said it. Because I told him, I said, brother, this debate is about the Netra rule literal, not about Jabari's how he got his degrees or what, not about none of that. You can't tell me how to make my argument. So he let us know explicitly that that's going to be part of his
on
debate.
Several occasions. The last time we were on, he said he's going to show you how to have some white mentors. What? then he also said Jabari has lost the elders. They know who he is now. This is we are talking about whether the Neteru are literal. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. And the thing that I continually say is that he usually attacks me on the things he's weakest on. He's not a debater. You know this already. He came up here. I mentioned Ricketti Men. Guess why I mentioned Ricketti Men? Once again, here's the lure at the bottom of the tree. Lunch money. I wanted him to talk about how respected Ricketti Men was, and then show you what she said about the Neteru, and then remind you that he doesn't want you to hear from Ricketti Men. I wanted to remind you of that. He fell for the Lord. By the way, listen, in all the time that that Reggie has been doing this, before we were going to have a debate, he didn't show you any scholar that agreed with him. Not one. Not one. Gideon comes up.
He just made the claim.
Yeah, then Gideon here and says 9 out of 10 Egyptologists agree with Reggie. By the way, it almost sounds like those toothpaste commercials, right? 3 out of 4 dentists think you should have this toothpaste. I was like, what? You don't make that claim unless you have seen a few of them. I asked Gideon to show us one because I don't think Reggie said 9 out of 10 Egyptologists agree with me. Gideon said that. Did Gideon show you one? 0.
No. Gideon named Theophilo Benga, who's black and helped Sheikh Anta Joe. So he called him a European.
Here are Egyptologists. And I said, I'm only going to show you people with Egyptology degrees. And I started with this book. And then he said,
Theophilo Benga.
You know, if you don't know who Theophilo Benga is, you are not in this debate. That's like you saying, you know what? I think the Knicks gonna lose. And then you say, well, I don't know, Big Body Brunson. And he go, who? If they say who to you, you say, man, go sit down.
Exactly.
Go sit down. You're not part of this discussion. By the way, you should know, I showed you 2 books from Theophilo Benga.
Yeah. You got a jersey on in Harlem right now. You tripping.
She would tell you that. She would tell you that Theophilo Benga is the at the top. He's retired. He's at the top. And that she had the honor of translating one of his works. She talked about working with Theophilo Benga. Theophilo Benga is number 1. Raketi Amen is a 2. And by the way, there's a lot of us that aren't even on the list. I'm not on that list. These are scholars above reproach. They don't agree with him. And our dear brother tried to say that no one respects the white Egyptologist. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to let you go to white Egyptologists.
No, Brother Reggie.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Brother Reggie, Tahuti just called me, and he wants you to jump back on because he's coming on. So I guess he's coming up to serve Jabari up as well. So Tahuti said, jump back on, and he's coming on right now. He just called me.
Okay, I just got back home. I think Tahuti can take care of it himself, but I'll take a look. All right.
All right.
Okay.
See that, Jabari? You got all Jabari. Yeah, yo, man. You got all these.
That guy right there got a machine gun in the middle.
Hold up, Jabari. Look who jumped in the ring too. Look who popped up.
You know who?
Boy.
You know who you should have actually.
You can see the hate all on his face. You can see the hate all in his face, man. Guess
what you should have sent it to Hootie. You should have sent it to Hootie. You claimed that you and Jabari had a debate. And then when Jabari said, oh, no, that wasn't a debate, let's have a debate. You and I, sa.neter and Jabari.
You don't think I did that already? I did that, Jabari.
45 minutes, and he would not agree.
Jabari, I did that already. That's the first thing I said to him.
So now he's trying to get
to Hootie's going to try to do.
Hold on.
Yeah, Tahuti's gonna. Tahuti told me. Hold on, but Tahuti. Let me just say this, because Tahuti, when me and Tahuti had the discussion on here, I pressed him on how well he knew the sa.neter, and then I asked him, did he read it well? And what he told me, I said, if somebody put some random sa.neter up, would you read it? He said only if Jabari was there. Because I said, would you read it when Reggie was there? No, I would read it when Reggie was there. Only if Jabari was there. So I think that he may attempt to do that. That's why he's asking for him to be there.
I want to be very clear about something. There's a reason why they're doing this.
Oh, man.
Not Tahuti. Tahuti is, in this instance, not understanding what's happening. But in actuality, remember, Reggie's modus operandi is to destroy communities of spiritual traditions. And one of the reasons why you're not going to hear me say that you cannot actually focus on the meta-netter entirely is because no one says if you don't speak Demotic Greek or Aramaic that you can't be a Christian. No one says that. And I'm saying that if we're going to return to traditions from ancient Africa, we should stop pretending that the only way that you can approach these traditions is through the original language. Is reading the original language helpful? Yes, that's the reason why I'm studying it. That's the reason why I've studied it for years. But
well, Jabari Unc speaks the meta-netter. He speaks the language.
Why are you trying to focus your brother?
No, speak the language, Unc. Let him know.
Why are you trying to focus your brother?
Humming. That's what they're doing when they think they speaking. They humming you half to death. Let me say something, sir. I think this is important. First of all, I have there's few interviews on Riketta Almond, which I have one of them that I interviewed her on Blog Talk Radio. Okay. And so I am in contact with her. So there's some mischaracterization of what actually happened between those two. What happened is Riketta Almond respects both of them. She really respects Reggie because he actually reads the language, right? But the way Jabari characterized it to her, he should have started off with, look, I'm in a debate against Reggie. Can you do this? That's not how Jabari did it. Okay? He mischaracterized it.
What?
So by the time Reggie said, well, no, he's going to use it against me, she don't want Jabari to use something against Reggie and don't want Reggie to use something against Jabari. She doesn't want to be in the middle of it. That's why she's not in that. Has nothing to do with Reggie acting like he should come on something that is not the truth. The next mistake that Jabari continues to make is Reggie is not trying to destroy anything, actually. He's trying to show you the difference between an ancient Egyptian spiritual system, traditional African spiritual system, and an African American New Age spiritual system. And that's okay. We should be able to make those differences. The next point is, Jabari is framing this as if people are trying to destroy people's beliefs and all that, or Unc is disagreeing with me because he's an atheist and I'm a priest. That's a bunch of malarkey bull crap. In reality, I'm simply saying, last time my research showed me was that Egypt was a traditional African nation, right? Coupled with traditional African traditions and customs. And so if this is true, right, what we do know for facts is that in Africa, sometimes things are literal and sometimes they're not, and all in between. Like, for instance, the tree in the village may be the oldest ancestor because it embodies, right, the ancestors. Now, how does the tree embody the ancestors? Because human beings will die in that village and their substance will become nourishment for the tree. And so the tree actually houses the ancestral spirits for real. In Kemet, in the Nile Valley, they actually had temples that they claimed literally embodied the nature. Jabari knows this. So if ancient Egypt is a traditional African system, right, then it will have both and all in between. Now, this is why this is going to be a great debate, because neither one of them are wrong. What we're actually trying to figure out is the scholarship on the subject. And we know neither one of them are wrong because what? Because they are a traditional African social cultural system. And in traditional African social systems, they have totems, they have houses that actually embody the actual ancestral spirit, sometimes forever and sometimes not forever. In my case, I study this thing for real, and that is my take on it. Please get the debate. It's going to be serious, right? The dislike between them two is real, but I tell you what, I'm well studied on the subject of traditional African social systems. Them brothers will do a damn good job of beating each other up, but at the end of the day, if Reggie coming in mumble bumble too complicated, Jabari gonna chop his head off with smoothness. If Reggie coming there showing his meta-nature, showing the actual sources and critique, then we'll all learn something from the debate. So it's going to be hard to tell the difference because we don't have to, because in traditional Africa, they did all those things. I am my case.
Yo, Unc, I think you are delusional. I think you are delusional, Unc. He's not right because there's only one truth. Either you're right or you're wrong. And I keep telling Unc this is only one truth. Okay. And that's what will never change is the truth. Okay? And so either you gonna go with the truth, or you're gonna go with the spookism that you displayed just now. You just displayed and connected the tree with the spirit of the ancestors that you always go against. Like you say, what the hell is a spirit? And now you have displayed the spirit realm, which I do agree with you. I agree with you on that. But you don't believe in the spirit realm. So you are delusional and the biggest pseudo that we know, man. You're a pseudo, brother.
No problem, bro.
Let Jabari spank you with the belt, man.
sa.neter, first, before I even engage with what Ankh said. By the way, peace, Ankh. Right? Let me say
How you
this,
doing, brother?
I have a question to ask you,
brother.
Were you and Reggie on the phone together with Raketia Man?
You have to be. I know Rickett's stance in all times. Whenever I talk to Ricketti, I said no.
Okay, no. Okay.
And
So essentially what you're doing is there are two people that were in a conversation, me and Raketia Man. You are talking about what you heard from Reggie and not even what you heard directly from Raketia Man. Isn't that bizarre? Isn't that strange? Even Reggie didn't come up here and say what the nature of their conversation was. But he is basing it on what he heard from Reggie. Now, listen, I know that you all are like a tag team. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But I want to be really clear that when you're talking about Africans on the continent and Africans, by the way, this is not just something that Africans on the continent do. Diasporan Africans do this as well. When they believe that the tree embodies something, when you embody something, it is not literal. I'm going to show you that too, by the way. We're talking about whether it is literal. sa.neter, listen, can you go ahead and put up this screen really quickly? This is what Raketti said to me. I'm basing it on something that was typed. We can just keep this a conversation between myself and you. The subject we discussed is very deep, and there's so much more to it than we discussed. I do not want anyone to misunderstand or misrepresent anything I said. Dua. My response was, I understand. I truly wanted your words to bring clarity to the subject. The chief person who has been misrepresenting the Neteru is Reggie Mabry. As an atheist, he has stated that he has taken it upon himself to kill all cults. This is actually something he said. Should I assume he called you? Should I assume he called you? Because I wasn't going to allow Reggie to just do something and hide his hand. This is what she says next. Reggie did call me today. Do not want to be in the middle of an argument and not be able to speak myself. That is why I've always opted not to be a presenter on sa.neter. I also told him not to use any of my personal discussions I've had with him on the same topic. Thanks for understanding, Ankh in Ma'at. I want to be really clear. I'm not misrepresenting what was said. This is what she actually said to me. That's what she said. That Reggie we had a really good conversation. And I told her, by the way, the two of us had a conversation. You weren't on there, and Reggie wasn't on there. But now you're talking about a conversation that she had with Reggie when Reggie won't even tell us what conversation he had. That's
so Jabari, are you delusional, Jabari?
I want to be really clear. I want to be really clear.
Over talk, bro.
I did not interrupt you. I'm not over talking. You're the one over talking.
Nope, I'm simply interrupting me.
Let's be very clear. Let's be very clear that I had a conversation with Raketia Men. I asked her, I said, there are a lot of places. By the way, sa.neter TV is not the only place where this confusion is occurring. I said, there are a lot of places that are confused about the nature of the Neteru. I've read your book. I think you've made it clear, but I think it would be helpful for you to describe what you think the nature of the Neteru are. And so I said, I intend to play this, the whole thing in Comedic Ascension, and show the whole thing on sa.neter's channel. She didn't disagree with me then. She didn't say, no, that's not something I want to do. It wasn't until she spoke to Reggie that she said it's not something she wants to do. That's a fact. I know the facts are hard to hear. I know they're hard to hear. And they're hard to hear for everybody, not just you, Ankh, because we cherish this community. And we don't want to hear that one of the people that has been part of this community the longest has actually been a double agent. But that's what we're seeing. He's the one that actually told her, oh, this is going to be an argument on sa.neter. Is it an argument? Is this supposed to be an argument? Or is this actually supposed to be a moment for us to actually discuss the nature of the neteru, a topic that many of us have discussed? This is not just the only place where this confusion lies. It's not the only place. I told her where I was going to use it. And now you're saying that Reggie told you that I misrepresented.
Yeah, why Jabari, can we have a conversation, though?
Conversation.
I'm just saying, but can we have a conversation, though, Jabari? Why are you doing it?
I'm sure I was quiet when you spoke, Reggie.
I know, but I didn't take this long. Come on, Jabari.
Well, guess what? I'm part of the debate. You're not part of the debate. I know you want to be.
So then why you put me in? So then why you put me in? I don't want to be a part of it.
To understand. So what I want you to
this nigga here, man, on purpose.
What I want you to
willfully do what you do, brother. That's what I appreciate about you. I'm gonna shut up.
What I
little apostle, just be cool. Little apostle, just be cool. Bobby Bang, you'll be all right.
This is a situation.
You'll be all right.
This is a situation where we could have heard clearly from one of the most respected people in our community, and he sabotaged that. He did. I showed you the text. I didn't tell you what I heard. I'm showing you what she said. So I want this debate to be about the topic, not about anything else. And I'm really hoping that that's what will end up happening. I really hope that's what will end up happening. Because the reason why I would take a debate like this...
You still going, Jabari?
Topic. Yes, I'm still going, Ankh. Wait. Because this is a situation where an important idea is one that we could talk about in this community. And I want that to happen. But he's trying to prevent that from happening. By the way, do you think he's the only one that you're going to hear video of tomorrow? No, she's not. You're not going to hear her video. But they're not the only one. She's not the only one. You'll hear others. This is important. Okay.
You finished, Jabari? I simply want to talk about the text message that you put up. And the text message you put up said damn near what I said. It reflected my sentiments. And I don't know what the hell you think you read right there, but I said that. Completely said that, and yet you played with us for the last 15 minutes. You talked us to death for no reason. I simply said that the sister didn't want to get into it. I also talked about how you didn't tell her what you was using it for. I said all that. So the text message you read actually reflected my sentiments, bro. She don't want to get into it. Simple as that. Okay? And I told you why she didn't want to get into it. Okay, so I don't know why you acting like traditional Africans didn't think things were literal. Sometimes they thought they were literal, and sometimes they didn't. It's the most ridiculous thing. So I'm gonna ask you a question, and please don't take an hour to answer the question, bro. Don't disrespect me like that. Give me a good answer.
Take an hour. I'll probably take about 90 minutes.
I don't need that. So I'm gonna ask you. So are you telling me that there is no indigenous tribes in Africa that don't think that the spirits are literal and don't think that there are houses that literally house the ancestral spirits? Is that what you're saying, Jabari?
No, that's not what he's saying, brother.
Wait. Let me say this. Let me say this.
My man.
Let me say this. First of all, Ankh, that's not the debate topic.
No, I'm asking a question.
I want you to hear. You asked me a question.
We know it's not the debate topic.
Let me tell me when you're done.
Calm down.
Tell me when you're done.
You don't have to tell me what the debate topic is.
Tell me when you're done.
Ari?
Are you finished?
Maybe.
Well, if it's maybe, then let me stop and let you talk.
Answer the question, Jabari.
Oh, now you want me to speak. Okay, let's speak. I want to be really clear about something.
Mm-hmm.
Whether Africans anywhere believe that spirits can inhabit an inanimate object, a living object. Those things, I think, are not even something that we can argue. I can show you in Kemetic text. I can show you in the text of the Zulu. I can show you text from all over the continent of Africa where that is the case. That's not the issue. The issue is, are the Neteru literal?
That's it.
So what you and Gideon are doing, and you're smarter than Gideon, come on now, don't do that. What both of you are doing, in order to say that Reggie is right, you are expanding the aperture. The discussion is very narrow. Are the Neteru literal? And we're not talking about ancestral spirits.
What is the answer, bro?
We're not talking about ancestral spirits.
I'm asking, what is the answer, Jabari?
He answered it.
I answered the question first.
Is that answer no or yes, Jabari?
Did you hear my answer?
No, I didn't. I didn't understand because you talked me to death, so I wasn't sure. You flipped
He answered the question.
I'm not talking to you,
wait, listen, I started by answering your question.
And what was
I
that?
said that it's not even an argument. I can show you in text.
No, is it yes?
Brother.
You gotta listen. You are just out of your league. That's all. You don't understand. You're out of your element, You're out of your league,
Is it yes?
You're just
yes
right now.
Jabari, no. That's all I'm asking. Please, Jabari. Jabari, I don't need you to show me. Is it yes, Jabari?
You have to listen. Because I said in like 3 sentences, I answered your question.
And then you talked off the point.
And then obviously you don't understand what I said.
Right.
Everyone in the room understands what I said.
Well, I don't care about
I can show you. Listen, wait a minute. Brother, stop. Listen. Listen.
Right here, Jabari.
Listen.
It's this tactic right here you use.
It's not a tactic, brother.
You know what I was saying?
I said. By the way, you're interrupting now. Now you're interrupting.
No, we're talking.
No,
we're talking.
You're talking over.
No, we're
you
talking.
You asked me to answer a question.
You won't answer.
I answered it, and then you said you didn't understand my answer. Then you said I didn't understand your answer. So now I'm trying to explain it.
Brutal trick.
Here's the answer again. I can show you texts from all over the African continent, and not just African continent, also in diaspora in Africa, where you actually see that Africans argue that ancestral spirits inhabit inanimate objects, living objects, all sorts of objects.
Literal objects? Literal objects? That's my question, bro.
Brother, if it's an object, it's literal.
Okay, so that would mean that
what I'm saying is that's not the topic.
That would mean it's an exciting debate tomorrow.
That's not a topic.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You see how he played that?
There are Ka statues in Kemet. Let's go to Kemet specifically because we're talking about Kemet. Yeah. There are Ka statues in Kemet.
Slow down. Wait till tomorrow.
No, I don't have to. I don't have to. Because the topic is not about Ka statues. The topic is are the Neteru literal?
Yes,
Jabari. I want you to listen to Saber Jabari right now. This is the same thing I just told you the other day. Go ahead, Brother Jabari.
I want to be really clear. That when we talk about the Neteru, we speak in the energies, the principles, the forces. We speak in allegory about how they actually appear. And that is what we're doing here. So that's what we're going to deal with. It's not about Ka statues or anything else that ancestral energies can inhabit.
Do you understand why I asked that question, though, Jabari? Do you have it?
I understand it better than you do.
Okay, so let me tell you why I asked you that question, right? Because in religious and in spiritual systems, they'll say that certain humans literally house the spirit of the bear. And they literally say that bear is infused in them. Literally, bro. So that means that literally, right, that person is the bear. Simple as that, bro. And all I'm saying is that the nature can literally be there, right? Represented as the person literally, bro. That's all I was saying. That's not all the time. That's why I said that. And I'm trying to be reasonable with you, but you won't allow it because you talk too daggone long on purpose, hoping we forget what the hell is going on. So I'm gonna say it again, bro. Literally, in African traditions, there are tribes and clans that literally say this is this and this is that, bro. Ain't no getting around that.
Well, when you are the champ, when you are the champ,
so I gotta fight him to cut me off.
When you're the champ, you have a lot to say.
Hey Reggie, listen.
When you are the champion, brother, you have a lot to say. You are a peon coming up.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you.
Jabari, brother. You are a
why don't me and you debate?
Can I ask the question? Here's the question.
You're a peon to Jabari, brother.
Might just be.
Man.
I might just be.
Here's a question.
Reggie and them.
Are
you asking me a question? Are you asking me a question?
I am.
Okay,
I am. I started by saying, here's a question.
But you use that as a trickology too. But go ahead. Yeah, everything you do is well.
Now you said that there are peoples that say that
Jabari. I got to do this. No, I got to do this, brother. I got to do this.
Go to help out.
This is real talk right here.
All right, go ahead.
The reason why people say sa.neter is Jabari man and he always help out Jabari, you are right in saying that. And the reason I do that is because Jabari could never get a fair one. It's always Jabari versus 10, Jabari versus 5, Jabari versus 8. And that's now if it's a one-on-one, then I'll fall back. But goddamn, it's the whole goddamn community.
Can you count them? So you can't count? So you can't count? You got a saw glazing. He been glazing Jabari for the last 2 months. You got a saw. He don't know where he at. So
for the last 2 months, it's been 10 against 1.
No, we're talking right now. We're talking right now.
So let me let Jabari get the mic back. Because I got
wait. Aunt didn't even talk. This dude talked for
you should be talking.
But that might be fine. But I was waiting patiently.
It's your debate tomorrow. Jabari was talking and I stopped him.
I was.
And I stopped him, Reggie. You can go next, though.
Okay. So
now
I would like to finish this point.
Wait, hold on.
I would like.
Brother, it's not about what you would like Unc to do, brother. The debate is you and Jabari, not Unc and Jabari.
He was asking me a question, son. So you saying you're not
asking you a question?
Yes, so go ahead and finish.
You a question.
Go ahead.
And I'm gonna say this very quickly. This is to Gideon. Gideon mentioned several deities on the continent of Africa, and he said they were literal. I want you, Aduduwa is one that he mentioned, by the way. I want you to come on and show us how you can prove that they were literal, because neither of the ones you mentioned were literal. Anyway, now let me say this to you. First of all, here's the question. Here's the question. I'm gonna make this brief. You said that people sometimes say the ancestors actually can go into a bear. Is there an African tradition where they say that ancestors can inhabit a bear?
Man, ask me the question and stop tricking the audience, bro.
That was a question.
Man, come on, bro. I just gave a loose example of animals. The bear represented animals, period, bro. Why are you playing this thing? Why are you doing it? Stick to the question, bro. Don't play with me.
I just asked you the question. Is that answer no?
I'm saying how many bears inhabited the continent of Africa?
Is the answer no or the answer yes?
The answer is animals. There are African traditions, and I didn't say it the way you reversed it. I
didn't reverse it at all.
Yes, you did.
I didn't reverse it at all.
I said it was in African traditions, okay, they will state that this particular human or this particular thing housed the spirit of a particular animal. You said it in reverse, Jabari. You said, is there any African tradition that says humans inhabit the bear? That's what you said, Jabari.
Yeah, because you mentioned the bear. Reverse. You said, wait a minute, hold on. You said people can say, you didn't say Africans, you said people. That's why I'm asking.
Talking about Africa, man.
Wait, listen, I sat here and listened to you, and then you're already interrupting after I say 3 words. You have to have.
I'm not interrupting. I'm saying you know what you're talking about. I have a great attention.
I did not say that you said that Africans people believe that ancestors inhabit the bear. I'm asking you to clarify your question. And if the question is no, if you just meant animals and you were using a bear as an example of an animal, fine.
Right. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, but why are you so defensive, brother? I was asking you a question.
Well, go ahead.
Why
But that
so
was
defensive.
Is that the question you wanted to ask me? Why are you so?
Yeah, that was the question I wanted to ask you. And
okay,
now
so
I want to
go
go
on. No, go ahead.
So wait a minute.
Go ahead.
So you said no. You were talking about animals in general.
Animals in general, and I didn't say it was the people inhabiting the animal. Okay.
Fine. Okay. Fine.
All right.
All right. Brother, I'm not fighting with you.
I'm not saying what you mean, but Jabari, go ahead.
Why are you so defensive?
Jabari, I'm not defensive. Why are you super defensive?
And I said that's
super defensive. Why are you super defensive?
So let me say to you,
yes,
that there are instances in African tradition, and Kemet as well, where it is argued that an ancestral energy, more a divine energy, can inhabit an animal, right? That does happen.
Like the pharaoh.
But I want to be clear that when they do that, they're still speaking in symbolism, because they're talking about the energy of a divine force going into something. I didn't say the energies don't exist. That's not what the debate is. The debate is, are the netters literal? I'm not saying they don't exist. That's the reason why when people substitute the word real for literal, I say I'm not talking about whether they're real or not. So I think that you're arguing something that I'm not arguing. You're countering something that you think I'm saying that I'm not saying.
Jabari, I'm saying it's not simple.
I actually wait. Let me finish. Jabari. I'm a priest. I actually I pray to divine forces. We have ceremony and ritual to divine forces. I'm not saying that they aren't real. I'm saying they're not literal. So if they can inhabit something, that's fine. But they're not literal. That's the reality.
I know, and I'm saying it's literal. I'm saying they literally think that animal, right, is in the person. They literally think that, bro. They literally think that.
You mean the person's in the animal?
No, they actually.
You misspoke. That's
right. No, I said it that the animal is in the person, or the human being is actually. Let me give you another one. When a person dies in West Africa, they literally believe that the next person born is that person, bro, coming back again. Literally, bro. Now don't make me get a real priest on here. Don't play with me like this, Jabari.
Brother, it's not literal.
You should know that. Wait, you know what? Get back to the debate. Go ahead, Reggie. I'm done.
I received the name.
Don't worry about it.
Brother, hold on.
No, I'm cool. I want y'all to get back to the debate.
This is not something that just priests do. I received the name Nana Kwame Brenya because there was a Nana Kwame Brenya before me.
That's not what I'm talking about. You know it, Jabari.
It is. You just said they gave you a name.
No, I did.
That person passed.
That's not what I said.
Okay,
what I said was,
so let's move on.
No, we're not moving on. We're going to explain.
Just
mix it up. What I said was, in some traditional villages, when a person dies, dead, gone, the next person born is that person coming back again. Literally, bro. They name them that person. That's what I said, Jabari. Stop technology, bro.
So if it's literal, hold on a second, Ankh. If it's literal, then does that mean that baby that has been given the same name is the husband of the widow? They actually go
now you're introducing something else, which is wild, because that's not what I'm talking about. No, it's not the husband because of the baby, bro. Stop that trick.
But if that person,
you ever heard of reincarnation? They literally said it. Hold on. Have you heard of reincarnation, Jabari? Is that literal?
You're interrupting now. I was actually speaking when you started.
You're trying to play
I was
Jabari.
Actually speaking when you started.
So what?
The reality is they're still talking symbolically, because if that baby is literally the person that died, then they would say, we're taking the baby from the mother. He's going to go and live with his wife.
Says you.
These children here are literally his children.
They
don't actually.
Get back to the conversation,
They
brother.
don't actually mean it.
They actually mean
literally.
that,
And
Jabari.
I'm telling you that I received the
They
name.
actually mean that, Jabari.
Brother, stop. I'm speaking.
I'm saying they actually
Why
mean
must you
that,
speak
Jabari.
over me every single moment?
Because you talk too long.
I stop and I listen to you.
No, you talk
and
too
then
long.
I speak.
You talk too long for me,
You're
Jabari.
unable to do that.
I can't take your disingenuousness. I don't care what everybody else thinks. But go ahead, Jabari.
I spent an extensive time in villages like the ones that you
Cap.
And when I do that,
Cap.
what you are describing is actually something that happens, but they're not speaking literally. They're not speaking literally. And it's not just babies. This is not just babies. When you're in stool.
Yo, you just like Apostle, brother. You're a baby apostle, man. The brother is talking. You just a baby apostle.
You read that in the chat. You read that in the chat, and I don't appreciate that. I'm saying that's offensive to me.
Where did they say that in the chat? Because they take it just like me.
That is offensive to me, sa.neter. Now I'm gonna start characterizing you with other people. Don't do it if you can't take it, because I can take it.
I can take
it. No, we don't gotta do it.
So here's another
All
question.
this to protect Jabari. Let them two get in there. Move on.
Here's another question. Here's another question. Can you tell us? Yes, I'm talking to you.
No, I'm done. Talk to Reggie. I'm done. I'm out.
Okay, fine.
I don't like discourse.
See you tomorrow, brother.
Genuine.
See you tomorrow, brother.
I see you tomorrow. Do a good job, man. Get y'all thing together. It's gonna be a good fight, man. I'm right here. Go ahead, Reggie.
And sa.neter, I'm gonna leave soon because I have.
Yeah, I got to too. Me too.
Okay.
So he's characterizing the situation similar to the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, Reggie.
But he didn't say it quite.
Where you at, Reggie? Let's go.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
You're really low.
Turn his mic up. Yeah.
Where you at, Reggie? Where you at?
I'm here.
Where my people at?
I'm here. I'm just.
You're very low, Reggie.
Nah, he's not low. I can hear him good. Just go
I
ahead.
hear everybody else clearly. I'm struggling to hear him. I'll turn up my volume.
Maybe the words that I'm saying you're not supposed to hear.
Oh,
I'm really upset that you tried to have a conversation with Dr. Riketti Amen and said that I said that my aim is to kill all Connecticut. Like that. I think that when you pose a question like that to the elder, and I'm not there to defend myself, I think that was stretching and that was purposeful, and that had no moral Maatian composition, because I was not there to defend myself. So you did that on purpose. And again, I'm not here to talk about what she said to me, because that was personal, and I have to. I have an obligation to her because I really know her, right? I really speak with her, so I have an obligation. It was just for my ears, generally. So you just showed who you are by trying to get some reaction from an elder, and that was inappropriate. But you are a Kemetic high priest, so you're beyond us minions telling you that you did something wrong. Because on this channel, you hardly ever do anything wrong on this channel. The reason why we're having this debate is because you made a statement that was out of the paradigm of what is taught by our African elders on the Neteru. It would have been better for you to quote directly, because you had Dr. Riketti's book. It would have been better for you to quote directly. But you have this strange word, literal, that you think that you can gut 4,000 years of Nile Valley culture. This strange word, this English word, and all of a sudden, Nile Valley Neters collapses. Well, you're going to learn something tomorrow. You don't think that you are, but you are going to certainly learn something tomorrow. So
What?
angry. I'm not angry. I'm not even disappointed because the difference between a lot of other people, I actually know you, met you, talked to you, right? And so, and I've known you for years, right? Like you've known me for years. But my journey started way before your journey. My, you can laugh again. My journey did it. That's a fact.
Oh.
That's a fact. You don't see yourself. Did you know Dr. Jacob Carruthers? Did you know Dr. Malana Karenga? Did you ever meet Dr. Theophila Benga? I don't know. You might have, right? Uh, uh, did you work with Dr. Clark on Dr. Diop's work? I have. My journey started a long time when, probably when you were still a Catholic in Cornell University, before you met James Turner. With my old degree, I helped teach Dr. James Turner how to use the PC. That's one of my contributions. So with my old degree, it was useful because I worked in a African institution in the New York Public Library, the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, and I worked there for 5 years. Have you worked at the Schomburg? I've actually, maybe, I know you've been to the Schomburg, but you wasn't around when I was into Schomburg because you were still in you could have still been in high school at best. So in the Schomburg, how can I say, I had enormous experience in the Schomburg. But anyway, uh, it's not that my issue with you is I just disagree. And I don't think that you are correctable by anyone because you're a high priest. You're even higher than your own elder, who was just the chief priest. He called himself humbly the chief priest. You are the high priest. And that says a lot about a person. That says a lot about humility. It says a lot. And so now you don't have any direct elders to help you and guide you. You don't, because your chief, your chief priest is an ancestor, and so the line passes from him to you, right? And the line before him is a question mark, right? He became in this world that you call the Kemetic world because the family member of his told him that he was connected, right? That's a big question mark. That's where his lineage starts, right? His direct lineage, and then of course interactions with Dr. Joseph Benjo Cannon. But I was there. Uh,
Imhotep giving life. I'm starting to learn the metal netter.
yeah.
Would that say, Reggie?
You were starting to learn the meta nature. So
Yeah, what'd that say?
it says
Oh,
EM.
wait. That
EM
says
is no, it
Oh,
doesn't.
he's
It's
going.
read the other way, sir.
It says
Yeah.
Imhotep.
Right.
Yes, it
So
does. Hotep giving life. Ankh.
Thank you. That's what I said.
right. So that's why I just
I'm
said it was
learning the
read.
metal netter. Y'all asses in trouble now.
Mhm.
So I said, "What's up, Jack?"
Mhm. So my comments are just in generally. Listen, Jabari is going to mop the floor with Brother Reggie. So you should all buy a ticket to see that actually happen. Please buy a ticket, right? Because you're going to get see the high priest mop the floor with Brother Reggie because Brother Reggie criticized his vague statement, which he's never written anything on. He has no publications on the subject, right? Nothing that you can really check, double check. You have to rely on his voice, and that's a problem. So I don't know where else we want to go with this. I'm not going back and forth with him today. We're going to see each other tomorrow uh, on live in front of people, and we're going to see, and then people are going to see, other people are going to see us online, live and online. So if you haven't got your ticket, please buy a ticket to watch the Himnecha Chepi use this English word to dismantle. Why attack the Netchers? Why don't you just mention what is already written about them and from where? Why do you have some special agency that you can attack the Netcher rule with literal? What does that do? What does that do? That's why I say you're a heretic. I can say you're a heretic because you call Akhenaten a heretic in one of your shows, right? So I could call you a heretic, right? I don't think that Akhenaten was a heretic because the full story is just not shown. He just disagreed with the Amun Ra priest. So did his father, and so did his mother. And his mother came to and to rule with him and his wife.
All right. Hey, Reggie, thank you, brother. I got the roll.
Can I respond? Sa.neter, you have to let me respond.
All right. This don't take too long, Jabari. I got the roll.
I mean, he spoke for a long time. I'm going to try to be brief, but
you spoke for a longer time.
I want to.
All right. No more.
Reggie has come on here every other day promoting, and now he's saying I spoke too long. I mean, I don't think anyone.
Go ahead, Jabari. Just go, Jabari.
So let's be clear. Let's be clear. He said that I spoke about him without his ability to defend himself, and I think everyone knows that one of the reasons why this debate is happening is because Reggie speaks about me all the time. He speaks to the friends we have in common. He speaks to elders that we both have relationships with. He speaks to all sorts of people about me, and I rarely respond. So for him to make it sound like this was a fatal error, I mean, he would have actually been dead a long time ago if that's the case. Because I don't get it. He talks about me all the time. In fact, he comes on sa.neter's channel when the topic isn't about me and talks about me. So I don't even know why he would start this way. He says, I wish you had used her writing with regard to Raketi Amen. Before I interviewed her, I did use her writing. Was he not paying attention? I even asked him whether he read her book. He said no. So how?
I said your writing.
Brother, I was quiet when you spoke.
But you're being untruthful.
I was quiet when you spoke. You said, I wish you had used her writing. You did mention my writing. I'm getting there next, soon. Okay? I did use her writing, right? Very clearly I used her writing. By the way, one of the things that I continue to hear is about the things that Reggie did when I was in high school or someplace else. Reggie is older than me. That's a fact. Reggie is older than me. I believe he's in his 60s already. I'm a man of 54. Simply because he's older does not mean he's correct. Reggie, I would even say Reggie is not an elder by the way he's behaved all these years. He's an older, not an elder. He's an older, not an elder. Because of the things that he has done over the years and the way he's attacked me. For many years when I was doing nothing but being his brother. I was doing nothing but being his brother, and he was attacking me. And dozens of people would come to me and say, you need to restore things with Reggie. And I would say, did you hear me say something negative about him? No, I've never done that. So why are you saying I need to restore things? You should, when he says something to you, you should say, go speak to Jabari. And they would invariably say, I did say that. Did he ever come to talk to me? No. He just wanted to talk about me. And so that's really strange. He also says Baba called himself a chief priest, not a high priest. How would he know that? How would he know that? It is Baba Heru who actually bequeathed on me a title. How would he know that? Why is he talking about something that there's no way that he could possibly know that? He does that all the time. I don't know why he does that. When he debates, he overreaches, and when he overreaches, then I just get a chance to slam things down on him. I don't know why he does that, but he does do that. So let's be very clear. Was Baba around when I was using the title High Priest? Was he? Do you think he disagreed with my use of the title High Priest? How would you know that he did or not? That he was comfortable with that title or not? Would I use it if my elder said that I wouldn't? That I couldn't? Really strange argument, but he'll continue to do that. By the way, Reggie used to talk badly about Baba Heru for many years. Now he's calling him an ancestor and his elder. The other part that he has to recognize is there are many elders and ancestors who had a role in my development. There are many. And he says, I have no elder now that can help me. How does he know that? How does he know who I'm getting counsel from? How does he know that? It doesn't make sense. He also said that I haven't written anything. And he says that because he wrote an academic article. Great. He even said he didn't write anything on the topic. His article is not on the topic. Reggie, did you read my book? I know you didn't. How do you know it's not in the book that you didn't read? I'm sure you don't own a copy of the book. You just said you just got home. Show us the copy of my book to show that you have it. I know you don't.
Oh, the copy of your book that
I have no idea why he would do that.
The copy
By
of the
the way,
book that I
also,
did own,
brother,
I gave it to Professor Small. You asked me a question.
To you speak.
You asked me a question.
To you speak. I am not finished yet. He also said, he also said, I worked at the Schomburg. Did he work at the Schomburg? Why would he even say that? By the way, does working at the Schomburg mean that you are inherently better to make any academic argument? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But sa.neter, can you put this on the screen? Please put this on the screen. And I only have one screen today, so you have to let me know when it's on the screen. Okay? I can't see when you're doing it. I usually have two screens. I only have one today. Have you put it on the screen? Folks, can you see it? No, I doubt he's put it on the screen. Please put this on the screen, sa.neter. Sa.neter? Is sa.neter there? I'd like for you to put this on the screen, please. Still waiting.
Yo, I got to roll out, Jabari.
Huh?
I got to roll out.
Listen, okay, I'm not going to be long. I would have been shorter. I was calling for you to show something. Look at this. This is the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture. It's called Africana Heritage. This is their regular journal, right? This is their regular journal. And it mentions the Schomburg Center launches the Junior Scholars Program, right? Okay. I want you now to go. This is available online, by the way. I don't just have this in my ready at the ready, but I want you to go. You can read the whole article. Go to page 3, and you're going to see. Where's the name? Here it is. It's here. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Program staff includes Carlisle G. Leach, director, Karamu Kush, associate director, Keisha Morris, senior counselor, Rhea Benjamin, blah, 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 blah. Look, specialist instructor, Jabari Osaze. By the way, when I tell people that I work there with Chadwick Boseman, look at the name after the next. Deidre Holman and Chadwick Boseman, instructor. So I want you to understand, I don't know why he would make that something he would ask me. We both worked at the Schomburg. Not that it has anything to with whether it's worth a hill of beans, but let's be clear that I've just proven to you that I've worked at the Schomburg and that I was actually one of the people to help start the Junior Scholars Program with Chadwick Boseman, the Black Panther. So I want you to by the way, in the debate at one point, he questioned whether I knew Chadwick Boseman, and I just ignored him. This is years ago. Now you're seeing the receipts. I did work with Chad. That wasn't even the first place I worked with Chadwick at. I knew him well. He actually also says he knows all these people. Did I know them? Does knowing someone automatically by osmosis or transmission give you enough information for you to be able to defend yourself in a debate? I don't think that's how the world works. I don't know why he's saying that. I don't understand why he's saying that. You can know all these people. By the way, I know most of the people you mentioned too. I'm not as old as you are, right? I'm not as old.
All right. Let's go.
You can do that to Reggie, sa.neter.
No, I got to go to the doctor. My appointment is coming up, brother.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Go ahead. I'll yield. Go ahead.
This is bigger.
All right.
Hey, I wish I could. Come on, let's debate. The debate. Shit, I got to go. I'll come back later if you're available. Peace and black power, everybody. I'm out.
All right, family. Peace.
Peace.
Peace to the family.